Go screen with a shooter that's hard to cover. The Lakers were doing that with Austin Reeves and LeBron in the Western Conference Finals in 2023. And Austin Reeves would come set a go screen because they didn't want to get a double. They didn't want Jamal to switch on LeBron. So then Austin Reeves would slip to the left wing, and then they got that action twice and made back-to-back threes on it because they didn't want to give the switch to LeBron.
So he would set a goal. I want to make sure I'm following you. Austin Reeves would set a goal screen.
Yeah, so on the left, on the top of the right wing, Austin Reeves would bring Jamal Murray, and then Aaron Gordon. He set a screen on Aaron, but then Austin the other way, and then Austin would slip through the screen, but they don't want to switch because they're having to show and recover. The problem is if you show and recover, there's a hesitation there. Austin's running alone by himself, and then now it's a 3-pointer with 4 feet of space, which is open.
But here's the other side of that. If you're telling me, because it sounds like we're talking about two different things, because if it's a go screen, I'm not getting screened, which means I don't have to worry about switching. I don't have to worry about hedging. All I have to do is just stay with Austin Reeves.
No.
That's it.
If the offense told you, hey, we're not actually setting the screen, it's going to be a go screen, then yeah, this would make sense. The reason people prepare for a switch is because they don't know it's going to be a go screen.
Sure.
It's not, oh yeah, I know a go screen is coming, but I'm going to switch anyway. The point of a go screen is because you're meant to think it's going to be a screen. If the offense actually premeditated it and said, yeah, Jamal, Austin Reeves is coming up here, he's actually going to slip it. So don't worry about switching. We're actually not setting the screen. Then yeah, the defense will be fine. But that's why a go screen is a bluff. It's a disguise. It's not just, oh yeah, we know a ghost is coming. If that was the case, then yeah, no one would switch. But that's not how it works.
It can be quite powerful.
That's just not how it works. The defense.
That's exactly how it works.
The sky.
Okay, Mars, please, if you don't mind, Mars.
Yeah.
So really quickly, I think you made a great point about disguising ghost screens. Yes, you did. You made a great point about that. But with that being said, this is why we watch film. Jamal Murray is going to ghost screen. Aaron Gordon doesn't screen that much. But player X doesn't screen that much. And I know that when I'm going up against him. So when I see him coming, more than likely because I've watched film and because I've done my homework, this guy doesn't screen that much. If he tries to screen me, it's going to be a soft screen.
That's not true.
If it's going to be a soft screen, I can get by it. Now, if you're going to disguise a screen, I know for a fact that you're not going to screen me hard because I've done my homework.
They repeatedly ran split actions at the top of the key.
There's a bunch of plays where
for LeBron to dive off of the non-switch. You have 3 options with the Lakers. But chill, just think about it. Like when you run a ghost screen, you run a ghost screen as a response to the defense. The Lakers are hunting Jamal on LeBron because that's an advantageous matchup for LeBron. So the Nuggets then will do show and recover to then not get the switch. So the Lakers then counter the Nuggets counter by going to a slip screen / ghost screen. That way, when they try to do the show and recover to not force the LeBron switch, they then respond. That's how you respond. But then what happens is, after they run the ghost screen twice, the Nuggets figure out what they're doing, and they run the coverage more correctly by sending a pre-rotate towards Austin Reeves from the baseline.
Way more complicated.
That's just a chess match. Is you got one thing.
You're just meant to just get over the screen swipe. All of this is long. Just go over the screen.
Yes, because I watched
what
LeBron
I said earlier. It's not complex. None of this is complex.
Wait, hold on, Ron. I'm asking you directly.
Screen navigation ain't a skill.
I'm asking you directly, Ron, because you're Ron. You play basketball. Help me understand. LeBron's a 42% three-point shooter at this point. Austin Reeves is a 40% three-point shooter at this point. If it's Aaron Gordon and it's Jamal Murray, and they set a screen, like Austin Reeves sets a screen on Aaron Gordon, and then LeBron runs the hump. Like, so LeBron's going to run the hump to extend the pick and roll as far as he can.
So we do have a screen. We don't have a ghost screen.
No, I'm saying, but remember, ghost screens are typically a response to defensive adjustments. So just stay with the first one. So if I run an initial screen and roll, Ron, or just a screen at the top of the key, if LeBron's extending the screen all the way out, so you're saying Aaron Gordon just needs to get around the screen, but I'm saying
just go over the screen.
But Reeves what's happening now is Jamal has to be here. Chill. I mean, to be fair, if LeBron's getting a screen by AG, Jamal has to stand here. I can't just go like this. And then it's a free look to
hedge the screen. Yes, he's supposed to hedge the screen. He's supposed to show.
But I'm saying, but LeBron's so good, and most point guards, Luka, are so good that if you hedge, well, I know how to force you to stay. And I'm saying the Nuggets didn't want to do that. So, like, how would you? And again, you got an elite shooter that's setting the screen. So how do you counter that?
The thing about it is, like,
Gordon got to lock in and move his feet.
Go ahead, Chill. You got it.
I'm listening to you, Ron. Go ahead, because
I was just gonna say, like,
it sounds way more complicated than.
We're definitely making it sound more complicated, but at the same time, like a pick and roll, it's the reason why a pick and roll is a pick and roll. Like, yeah, earlier I said, yeah, teams spam it and it's bullshit that they run pick and roll a lot. The main point of pick and roll is for guys like Luka, LeBron, even big setting the screen like Jokic, is to get the switches. And pick and rolls do that very well. It's hard to not switch on a pick and roll. It's hard not to get the advantage. It's hard to fight through it. But at the same time, a lot of players or teams don't do it.
If Austin Reeves is setting the screen, if he's setting the screen for LeBron here, and then LeBron's running the hump, like, what is Jamal supposed to do right here? What would you have him do?
So he's supposed to show until the defender gets back. But
Reeves is gone by that point.
Aaron Gordon is meant to ice the screen initially so that LeBron can't actually use the screen. So then you're sending him into the low man on the strong side.
But if you ice it, hold on, but Mars, if you ice it, there's empty side pick and roll, and then now the low man is Jamal.
Swiper, this is a
which one the time comes, Swiper?
Wait, Ron, this is what we should have been doing. Ron, this is what we should have been doing to start the show. Because this is basketball, Ron, and I know you remember this. Chill, I know you remember this. Pin, I love this part. This is basketball now. We ain't got to do narrative, Ron. Good job.
I love this.
Ron, do you remember the second round, 2023 chat, second round Mars versus Golden State? Remember the Lonnie Walker game? Lonnie Walker had Steph Curry on him. And Ron, remember what they were doing? They were running an empty side, right side in front of the sideline, in front of the players. They were running an empty side pick and roll to get Steph switched on LeBron. And 3 straight times, they got scores on that because obviously they're trying to hide Steph. So Steph would do the same thing with Jamal wants him to. Show, recover, or he would go underneath the screen in order to get it repositioned. That way LeBron couldn't get the switch. The problem is when Steph went underneath the screen, LeBron had a straight drive down the baseline with 2 men on the other side of the defender. And so what I'm saying is, Chill, eventually they conceded the LeBron screen. And Steph switched on LeBron. They got more stops out of Steph isolating LeBron defensively than they did when they were trying to get around the screen and trying to ice and do all this other stuff. So, Chill, I'm asking you, Chill, when you watched that game, the reason they won because Lonnie Walker had 15 points in the fourth quarter.
What you just did with me. This is what you just did with me, Swiper. You just had me in 8th grade arithmetic a second ago talking about ghost screens, and then we just got advanced to algebra and trigonometry. Ghost screens. You're going to act like you're going to screen. Am I correct? But you're not going to screen. How do we lead up to that? Who are we putting in ghost screen action? Who are we doing that with?
Normally a shooter.
One more time.
A shooter's normally the one setting the ghost screen.
Or Mars, or it can be the person who's the worst defender. Usually, you could
just bring up your defender.
You're trying to run that decoy. Exactly. Yeah.
So if the guy who's coming up, for example, Austin Reeves, if Austin Reeves is coming up to set a ghost screen, I am doing my homework, and I know that Austin Reeves is not going to actually set a screen. He's going to act like he's setting a screen. The guy who's actually over here, like Rudy Gobert or whomever the defender is, he knows that he's going to give me enough room to get around so I can chase Austin Reeves because he's not going to screen. All he's doing is running to the spot where he's going to be to shoot the basketball. That's what a ghost screen is for. Am I losing my mind here?
So what do you do when you do all that thinking and then he actually sets the screen?
Bingo. Okay, I'm glad you brought
then you
that
play
up,
the screen coverage.
But if you're already preparing for a ghost screen and then you get hit, you're not preparing for actual coverage, is my point.
I mean, the thing about it is
the ghost screen is...
You guys, if Austin Reeves is going to set the screen and I'm the guy defending Austin Reeves, I'm at Austin Reeves' hip no matter what.
He's going to get slowed down when he sets that screen. And I'm already prepared. Even if I'm prepared for the ghost screen, Mars, even if I'm prepared for him not to set the ghost screen, I'm also prepared for. I know how to play coverage when a guy screens. I know how to play. It's not like I'm completely.
But chill. To that point, though, we just watched Austin Reeves at the end of the game yesterday versus Jaden McDaniels, an elite defender, Rudy Gobert, an elite defender. They ran a pick and roll at the last possession of the game, and to the point, they tried to get Austin to run the hump. That's why Rudy was so wide. He wanted him to run the hump to waste time to shoot a three. Austin, being great in that moment, said, okay, I see that he's overplaying it. He stepped to his left, got Rudy to commit, and then stepped back to his right with a crossover, got straight downhill and hit a floater to end the game. But I'm saying that, like, at some level, Chill, these players are just really damn good with the ball in their hand. So the issue is, even if you defend the screen well, I can still make you wrong. Chris Paul made a living out of that.
Okay, and I get that part. But I'm remembering, like you brought up the Golden State Warriors. I'm going back to the NBA Finals in 2018, where I'm actively watching them try to get KD on LeBron James, and he's conceding. They're not even setting the screen with Kevin Love. They're not even setting it, and Kevin Love is actively switching onto KD when he doesn't have to, even though James is covering him first. And they're actively trying to get KD onto Kevin Love. James,
no, chill. That happens a lot. That happens a lot. You're right. That happens a lot. Guys concede the screen all the time. That happens a lot.
They don't have to. And
but chill, it's almost better to concede. And this is why I think mathematically, you realize it's almost better to concede the screen and get a switch and force an isolation than it is for you to try to run the hump on an elite passer and then try to double or hedge, because now you get a short roll or you get a wide open corner three look. And again, this is three separate plays. This is three separate teams and three separate games I'm bringing up in the chat for saying that PC doesn't talk basketball. The Detroit Pistons versus the New York Knicks last year. Cade Cunningham would get a screen at the top of the key. And so what the Pistons did when they tried to hedge and trap Cade Cunningham, they would overload the left side of the floor with Tim Hardaway Jr. and Tobias Harris. Because what happens is now, when you load over on Cade Cunningham, they would have a short roll available, or Cade Cunningham would throw the ball, if you pre-rotate it, to the left wing. And so Tim Hardaway, with the game on the line, he gets a screen, they hedge, they trap, you cover the short roll with the pre-rotate, and now you got Tobias Harris sitting over in the corner, and you got Tim Hardaway Jr. He would throw the ball to Tim Hardaway Jr., who now gets it. Now it's 1-on-2. Tim would say, based on where the distance of the defender is, I'm going to pump fake, or if you're right here, I'm passing it to the corner, and it's a wide open three. They would murder teams last year like that, Ron. They would murder teams with that, and they did that every single game in the playoffs.
Yes, they did do that. But on the flip side to that, I'm still also watching, to your point, I'm watching Cat operate with Jalen Brunson. Right on the right wing. He's not even worried about the low man because he's not even going to come switch. He's coming over and just diving right to the basket and then immediately popping right back out. Waiting for the basketball. Meanwhile, Jalen Brunson is coming off that ghost screen and he's shooting the basketball. So if I'm doing my homework and I'm watching tape, I know for a fact Cat's not going to screen as much. So again, in defense, more times than not, I'm guessing, which is called anticipating. I'm guessing, but I'm also prepared to cover. I'm also prepared to cover a screen, but I'm also prepared to chase off a screen too. And when a guy like Cat, who when I'm watching him last season when he played for the Knicks, dives to the basket when I know he's not going to screen, that makes it a lot less difficult for me to get around screens.
It's the player choice way. Yeah, them boys don't get it started. The player choice way. You're the player choice way. Come and switch lanes into the player choice way.